Hi, everybody. It's Christina Quick, the Tarot Biz Mentor here from the Profitable Psychic Premier Divination and Business Academy. And today I want to share with you 6 signs that might let you know that you're actually a really, really powerful psychic and you just might not know it. So, sign number 1 is that you are sensitive to people's thoughts and emotions and you can see through people's lies. Yes, this is a really, really, really big one. This is actually one of the most important signs, in my opinion, and one of the first starting places that people really start to understand that they're a lot different from everybody else around them. So if you're the type of person that maybe you can't explain it, but you can sense other people's intentions, you can sense their motivations behind their actions, oftentimes better than they do. So if you can see patterns that people go through and they might not even be aware of that, it's because you're psychic and you're able to, empath those thoughts and feelings and intentions and motivations of other people. So if you're someone that can also easily spot lies and manipulation or mistruths or half truths, or if you often get like feelings, it could be up here, it could also be in your stomach. Like if you're just around someone, talking to someone, and you start getting a tummy ache or a belly ache, when that happens, it's because people are being disingenuine around you. And so that's one of the big red flags that you know that you have some sort of psychic ability or clear empathy, right? Or it might be another situation is where, like, if you think of someone and then they call you, or you think of someone and they contact you, like, or you just randomly think of someone you haven't seen in a long time, and then all of a sudden you see them out in the world, that's if you have those kind of creepy coincidences that happen to you a lot, then that pretty much means that you're psychic, and it means that you can telepathically connect with people, and what you're doing is you're basically reading their intentions of where they're going to be, or you're having either that or like a premonition of sorts. It's really, really interesting, and that means you're likely really psychic. So for example, in my family, this always happens, like especially with my aunt and my mom. We always buy each other the same gifts, and if we don't buy each other the same gifts, it's the same category of gifts. Or we buy each other the exact same birthday and Christmas cards. It's creepy. It's crazy. We always do this, and we don't ever we intentionally make plans to not do that, and we still end up doing that. It's just because we have a psychic connection, and it's really funny. Sign number 2, you are really highly intelligent, but you struggle basically doing average tasks. So this is something that's really, really prominent with psychics, especially. Psychics are usually people are, well, not just usually, always are people that are extremely intelligent, and they have an easy time learning and picking up new skills. Like if you're just kind of like a jack of all trades and you're just kind of good at everything that you do, chances are that you have some psychic abilities because you're able to intuit things beyond what a normal person could. And most people that I know chalk their intelligence up to, like, just that's just the way they are, that's just the way they've always been, or it's in their DNA or something, it's in their genetics or something. But here's the thing, being highly intelligent is a sign of being highly intuitive and being really, really psychic. A really skilled intuitive has the ability to see or predict the next steps, or what's required in any given situation, right? Not like to where you're omniscient or like you're omnipotent or like you know everything about everything. It's not quite like that, but just you have an easier time adapting to certain situations, and you have an easier time like picking up new skills and things like that. It could actually mean that you're psychic, right? And also something that's really prevalent that I see is that people that are highly intelligent, but they struggle with doing like the day-to-day kind of stuff. They struggle with being average or normal. They can never really quite come to terms with that. It's usually because they're meant for something more. Usually people who have psychic abilities have a higher calling. They have what's called a divine life purpose, right? So number 3, the third sign is that you are a vivid dreamer and your dreams feel like sagas, right? So I don't know if you guys can relate to this, but sometimes I have dreams where I've lived a whole lifetime or I've lived several lifetimes in one dream. And I'll look at, I'll wake up and I'll only have been asleep for like 20 minutes. It's really crazy how this happens. So if A sign that you are psychic is that either you are a very vivid dreamer, you can do lucid dreaming, or sometimes your dreams come to pass, or you have people from the other side that come and visit you in your dreams. And the distinction here is that you know that they are past. That's how you know that you're having a mediumship connection rather than just a dream. So in your dream, if you know consciously in your dream that this person has passed and that they are on the other side, then you know you're connecting with someone. So, for example, I've had dreams where my grandfather, I heard a phone ringing, and I woke up in my dream. I was in this like just room, and there is a pedestal and a phone. And this is how it usually manifests for me. There's a pedestal in the middle of the floor, there's like a spotlight coming down, and there's a phone, and it starts ringing. And so I pick up the phone, and it's someone from the other side, and they're asking me how I'm doing, and things like that. I also have dreams where I go to places. So the one of the most profound ones I had was right after my grandmother passed away. So I had a dream that me and her were walking along this beach, and we went into this restaurant, this little cafe or something. And I knew that she had passed on. I knew that she was no longer with us. And what was really interesting is that everything on the menu was in all languages. Like, it was all in one language that everybody could understand. So that's kind of, if you have dreams like that and you have connections with people on the other side like that in your dreams, chances are you have psychic abilities. The dreamscape is really the psychic's playground, isn't it? It's where you're not really burdened by real life limitations and expectations. And so also, if you have dreams where you know that you are dreaming, so this is called lucid dreaming, where you wake up within a dream or you realize that something's not quite right, and you're saying into yourself as you're dreaming, I must be dreaming. Or this happens a lot with me. I have dreams where I'm dreaming. Like, in my dream, I'm dreaming. And so it's sort of like being shown a vision and that sort of thing. But if you are the type of person that has extremely vivid dreams, or you have, more vivid dreams than the normal person does, or if you've ever noticed that in your dream that you are sleeping, like in lucid dreaming, then you're psychic for sure. Sign number four. If you have deja vu or premonitions, then you're psychic. So deja vu, not everybody feels deja vu. It's a very common thing, but not everybody feels deja vu to the extent to which psychics can. So deja vu actually feels different to a lot of people, but to most powerful psychics that I know, deja vu kind of feels like a sudden remembering. It could feel like a sudden remembering of a dream or like an experience that you had in the past, but you're not really sure that it happened in the past, or you know for certain that it did not happen in the past, and you know that you haven't been here before. And a lot of the times, deja vus can present themselves, premonitions, excuse me, can present themselves as deja vus. Sometimes they feel very similar. Also, deja vus can also be remnants of past life, or it can also be interpreting psychic information from someone else's point of view, right? So it's just a different way to receive psychic information. It's really kind of trippy when it happens, but it's kind of fun too. So if you are someone who also gets premonitions, and it's very clearly a premonition for you, meaning you have a vision, or you have this nagging sort of feeling like you need to call someone and check and see if they're okay, or you reach out to someone just to make sure that they're all right or everything's good or something along those lines, and you cannot go back to bed unless you do that, or you can't go on with your day unless you do that. That is called a premonition, right? And psychics can receive premonitions in dreams, but they can also receive premonitions in waking. And it usually comes through the third eye. It comes through somewhere around right here. But if you experience either one of those things, either deja vus or premonitions, whether you're dreaming or awake, then you are definitely psychic. Sign number five. So if you have some sort of creative capacity, or you are artistic in some way, then you are probably psychic. So if you have some sort of artistic capacity or aptitude, then you're likely psychic. And it doesn't mean that you're like, super talented. It just means that you have a capacity. So when I was very young, I won many awards for my art, for drawing. I've been published. I'm in a lot of books. I used to go travel around the state of Arizona and we would show off of my art and things like that. I I would not consider myself to be a talented artist today. I don't think I could really draw you anything today. When I was a child, I was very, very good at art, but it's not something I ever pursued, and I didn't really pursue it. So, but on the other side, I do, but I just do it in a different way. I do it more through like graphic design or like creating workbooks or creating courses and things like that. It's just a different way that I use that artistic capacity. But so artists in general, if you are an artist, you're channeling something from somewhere, right? So whether you use your psychic gift of channeling or you do automatic writing, but you do that more in like drawing or painting, or you use your clairvoyant abilities to see images and then translate them onto a piece of paper or, digital space, whatever. It's no coincidence that artists are some of the most spiritually and psychically awakened people. That's because, they are tapped into something beyond themselves and they're able to channel that information. Also, writers have a capacity as well, an artistic capacity, because they have to be able to envision the world that they're creating, right? They have to be able to envision the characters and the storylines and the plots and things like that. So no matter what type of art you do, if you are creative at all and you have an aptitude for that, and you just, yes, people have said that about you, even if you don't like, accept that as something that you believe about yourself, even if someone has told you that you are artistic or creative, even though it's kind of easy or second nature to you, you're definitely psychic. And the last sign, so the sign number 6 is that you have a connection to animals and also children as well. But we mostly see those animals, but children can be a part of that as well. So if you have a natural connection to animals, in fact, if you would rather go to a party and hang out with the animals rather than the people, chances are you're psychic, and specifically you're probably an empath. So if animals and pets and babies and children are naturally just like drawn to you, they naturally just come up to you, or they're very trusting of you, or they get excited when you arrive, or there's like if someone says to you, well, she never comes out, if they have a cat and they're like, she never comes out, you must be special, or something along those lines. It's very, very true. You probably are psychic because the animals can communicate with you telepathically. They are able to read you. You're able to read them. You have a empath connection that they're not going to have with other people, and that's why they trust you over other people. So all psychics have abilities to speak with animals and children and babies, even if they can't talk themselves. And this makes animals and children very, very, very attracted and drawn to psychic people. So I'm curious if you would let me know down in the comments below, what are some signs that you noticed about yourself that maybe you kind of lean towards, maybe I am psychic? I'd be excited to hear about it in the comments below. Also, I want to invite you to my online community. It's called The Profitable Psychic. We're a free group on Facebook. And every Wednesday, we do a thing called Psychic Chat where we bring up different topics about being psychic, discussions about being psychic. I also do live streams and bunches of other trainings for people who identify with being psychic or want to become psychic. I will see you in the next video.